In this video, we're going to talk about tapping and how tapping can help you deal with some of the feelings and some of those limiting beliefs that you carry inside you. My name is Piers and I'm an NLP trainer and hypnosis trainer. I also help people by teaching them in a one-to-one session how to tap various feelings away. And these are some very simple techniques that we teach people on the courses that I run that help other people. Whether you're in human resources, whether you're a doctor, consultant or therapist or coach, a very simple way of helping your people, your clients, your friends, your relations to get past their limiting beliefs, get past that block, get past that horrible feeling, whether it's anxiety, whether it's that fear, whatever that feeling is. A simple tapping technique, which I'll teach you in a second, can help you get rid of it. Now, when we talk about tapping, we talk about meridian energy. Now, meridian energy is what acupuncturists and people like that get quite excited about. It's a system of lines in your body, of energy lines. Now, what we're doing is as we tap on various places on our body, we're realigning those energy lines to work for us in a much more positive way. And sometimes we get wires crossed in these energy lines. We get that zzz, that horrible feeling, whether it's anxiety, fear, that cold feeling of perhaps the hair standing up on your back or whatever it happens to be. And as soon as you get that zzz, you know that something is wrong with the polarity of these systems. Now, by using this very simple tapping technique, and there's various tapping techniques out there. There's the main ones are TFT, thought field therapy, and EFT, emotional freedom technique. And they use some of the same points, not all, and there are arguments which came first. I don't really mind which one came first, but what I do mind is that when I help my clients with it, they get really good results very, very quickly. And when I work with people with their tapping, I get them to calibrate. So the most important thing to do is say, when you think about your anxiety, for example, when you think about your anxiety, where 10 is I just can't take any more, and 0, it's gone, what number are you at now? And most people will go, oh, I'm at a 7, 8, 9 or 10. And they're right at the top. And I say, excellent, stick with that feeling, because something on the inside is out of balance. There's some going on in a really big way in your system, and we just need to tap it away. And you just think of that 8, 9, 10, let's call it a 9 of anxiety for the sake of this video. Think of that 9 of anxiety, and you just say like this, and you tap here. Now, if you imagine you're a martial artist and you're doing karate chops and that sort of stuff, you go, and you karate chop something and you use this part of your hand here. So right in the middle of your palm here, right in the middle there, is where you tap. Now, just to make sure you tap the right area, if I went like that, I might miss the point. So by using 3 fingers, like that, you're getting the point quite nicely. And just say, even though I have a 9 of anxiety, if you're craving food, if I've got a 9 of craving for chocolate, or whatever it happens to be, and just say, I approve of myself. If you're EFT, emotional freedom technique, you say, I deeply and completely accept myself. But just the way I'd say to people, just think of the anxieties, this 9 of anxiety, and just close your eyes and really think and feel about the anxiety and say, this 9 of anxiety. Breathe in, breathe out. This 9 of anxiety. Breathing in and out. This 9 of anxiety. And by doing that, what you're actually doing is you're just resetting some of the meridians in your body. And this is what we call the setup stage. And there are many different places you can tap, but the main ones I'm going to show you here are these. This 9 of anxiety. Then you tap with the same 3 fingers on the top of your head. This 9 of anxiety. And now you go to this point here, right there in the centre, just, if I point to it slowly, just there, where your skull comes in for your eye socket, just on that point there. And again, using a couple of fingers, just making sure you hit the right point. This 9 of anxiety. Doesn't matter how many times you tap. Some people do it once or twice, other people do it more and more. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to keep on tapping, just so you can see the point there. Then you go to the next point, this 9 of anxiety, on the outside, so where the skull comes round into the eye socket, just there. Again, hitting your 2 fingers, you're going to hit everywhere around there, this 9 of anxiety. And that under the eye, this 9 of anxiety. And as you do this, if you've got, if you're blocked up in your sinuses, you may feel your sinuses drain slightly. When you do this point. Under the nose, the moustache point, is 9 of anxiety. Under the chin. And then on the collarbone. So your collarbone's this bone here, that bone there is your collarbone. And just where you've got a knobbly bit just there, just tap it. And if you tap it, you just feel the vibration. That's great. This 9 of anxiety. Breathe in, breathe out. And you repeat this 3 times, this 9 of anxiety. 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 And breathe in and out again. And once you've done it 3 times, just sit there for a moment, open your eyes, look around the room, stretch your neck for a second, whatever, just get more comfortable, and go, okay, I had a 9 of anxiety, what number is it now? And sometimes, if it's a really anxious moment, there may still be a 9 or an 8.5. But most of the time, it'll drop down to about 3 or a 4, maybe a 5. You say, oh, okay, yeah, it's at a 5. Okay, I've still got it, it's a 5. It's better, but I'm still at a 5. And you say, great. Set up, karate chop point, there, 3 fingers, like that. You're not hurting yourself, it's just a gentle tap. This remaining, whatever number it is, this remaining 3 of anxiety. 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 This remaining 3 of anxiety, 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 this remaining 3 of anxiety. Breathe in, breathe out. That probably took 60 seconds. I haven't timed it, but I reckon it's probably about 60 seconds. And then just sit there for a second and go, how do I feel? Oh, cool, it's gone. And sometimes you may go 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 5, 2, 1, gone. Other times it may go 9, oh, it's gone. And the more you do this, the more you practice this, the old thing, practice, 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 practice makes perfect. Yeah, the quicker it works. And generally now, I don't have to tap because I've been doing this for nearly 20 years. And whenever I do it, I just sit there and I go, oh, this anxiety. 8. And I just imagine the tap. I imagine the tap there, 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 there. And I just imagine it, and it goes so quickly because my body's got quite in tune to it. And then one of the lovely things, a guy called Mike Mandel in Toronto, or thereabouts, I don't know whether he lives in Toronto, but he trains in Toronto. He has this little point here, and it's called the Gamma 9 point, and he just does this and just say, I feel awesome. I feel really good. I feel empowered. This anxiety is never going to get to me. And he goes on and on and on. You build it up, and so you can build up. Say, I just feel fantastic. I know that I can get through this meeting. I know that this anxiety was very short-lived and it's something that happened a long time ago, but it doesn't matter anymore because it's gone. If it's anxiety, if it's chocolate, if it's whatever it is, I know that I'm going to get to the weight I want to be. And then you go, I feel awesome. And if you looked at my anchoring video 2 or 3 before this, you join that finger and that together and just get awesome and look at it. So you get the feeling, the kinesthetic, you're saying it, so you're hearing it, and you've also got the visual, awesome. And you anchor the awesome feeling on that point there. So when you're in the meeting, whenever you want to feel really good about something, you go, awesome. No one knows you're doing it. If you're sitting in a meeting, you're just doing this, is anyone going to go, oh, look, oh, he's being really silly? No, you're just doing like that. It's a very simple technique. So just to recap, the tapping part, you find out what the feeling is. So if you've got a I'm going to stop smoking moment going, and you have the cigarette, I want the cigarette, and I've got this 9.5, 10 out of 10 for a cigarette, and I'm going to kill someone if I don't get one. Obviously you won't, but you get that real I have to have it moment. You say, okay, I've even though I've got this 10 wanting for a cigarette, this 10 craving for a cigarette, this 10 craving for the cigarette, this 10 craving for a cigarette, it's 10 craving for a cigarette, 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 10 craving for a cigarette. Oh God, as I do it, God, because I do this, I used to smoke. I used to smoke 60 to 80 a day, and I stopped on February the 24th, 1992, at 10:35 a.m. Hypnotised by a guy called Alan Carr, who's sadly no longer with us, who wrote a brilliant book on stop smoking. But since I did that, then I had this horrible taste in my mouth of cigarettes, because by doing this, I'm just clearing out all the meridians. Whether it's chocolate, even though I have this craving for chocolate and I'm on a diet and I really want to lose weight. Oh, this 9 out of 10 for craving for chocolate. This 9 out of 10 craving for chocolate. This 9 out of 10 craving for chocolate. This 9 out of 10. 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 And you can do it quietly in your own mind, so no one knows you're doing it. Done. Yeah, and as I do that now, in my own taste, like, oh God, horribly sweet now, I don't want it. When I was running a hypno club, which I used to run, and I probably will start up again shortly, when I was running a hypno club, and I had this, and I had all these people bring in their favourite foods, and there's one lovely chap who will remain nameless, but if you're watching this, I hope you are well, and he had a McDonald's, and he said, oh, I love my McDonald's. And he used to drive home every night via a drive-through McDonald's, which added about 7 to 9 miles on his trip, from memory. And to drive in, have a McDonald's, and then go home and have his supper. And because of that, he sort of got my sort of size. And I can remember him going, oh, that McDonald's. One round of tapping. Even though I love my Big Mac, I love my Big Mac. Oh, that Big Mac's going in my tummy. I don't care what Piers says, that Big Mac's going in my tummy. I love Big Mac. This 10 out of 10 for love of Big Macs. And he was doing this staring at his Big Mac. And as he did this, he said, my love of Big Mac, 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 my love of Big Mac. I said, great, just take a smell of it. You know, oh, God, that's disgusting. And he threw it. I'll never forget that moment. He threw it so hard into the corner of the room. Everyone went, oh, my God. And when I bumped into him a few years later, he hadn't had a McDonald's since. That was one tapping round. Now, if you look at it, he'd saved all those, and he was looking quite different when I saw him. He said, I think it's 4 stone he'd lost or got rid of. just by not driving through McDonald's on his way home every night. But what was lovely is just seeing him doing it. And he said, Piers, yeah, I've lost all the weight. He said, I've saved so much money. And so you can use this, as you probably realise by now, listening to this or watching this, you probably realise that you can use this technique for pretty well anything. If you're doing a presentation at work, this 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 of frightening process that I'm going through called presentation. This 10 out of 10 for being frightened of my presentation, being worried about my presentation, this panic, this fear, this 10 out of 10 of fear, whatever words you use, your words, not mine, by the way, of this presentation. This 10 out of 10 of fear, 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 this 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 of fear, blah, 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 blah. And you go through it. As you do it, you're going to go, oh. And you get up and you have a really good presentation. I've had people going to the dentist and they sit in the dentist waiting room. They're waiting for that lovely fang merchant. And I love dentists to bits. Some of my best friends are dentists. But I jest. The dentists are fine. But when they sit in the waiting room, they sit there doing this. There. And people don't know they're doing it. So you can do it under your coat, just like that. And they just imagine, while they're doing that part, they just imagine tapping this fear. And so you can use it in so many different ways. It's so powerful. You can use it on the bus, on the tube. I know people who a few years ago, I was walking in the big supermarket here in Bury St Edmunds and Suffolk. I was walking down the aisle looking to buy some chocolates because I was going out for dinner that night. And I saw a client of mine walking up and down the aisle, and she was a chocoholic. She was walking up and down the aisle going, and she was smelling the chocolate. And she did it about 3 or 4 times. And then she saw me and she burst out laughing. I said, what are you doing? She said, oh, this smell of chocolate makes me feel sick. And she was doing it just to re-enable her, because she had children, to buy some chocolate for them, not her. And so you can use it in so many different ways. I use it probably 10 times a day myself, whether it's getting more energy. Oh, I feel really blocked this morning. Oh, this feeling of being blocked. Yeah, this 10 out of 10 of being blocked. This 10 out of 10 being blocked. This 10 out of 10 of being blocked. This 10 out of 10 of being blocked. I was thinking, oh, I can do it now. Now that took me, 10 seconds to do 2 rounds? You don't have to go, there's 10 out of 10, so I've got to do 20 of these. Right, I've got 20, 20. There's 10 out of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, you'd have to count it. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. So the points are, karate chop point, the setup, this 7 out of 10 of feeling nauseous, this 10 out of 10 of headache, this 10 out of 10 of pain in my left foot, this whatever it happens to be, and tap it away. Now, something like pain, there's some amazing, really good techniques out there to deal with pain. And I may visit some of those on another day and actually interview a couple of people for you, and I'll do it on a Zoom and then load it up for you to actually watch and listen to about pain and how to eradicate pain using hypnosis and other very simple techniques. And you see people go, the pain's gone. I've had one person 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, whenever it was, really bad pain in their leg. Really bad pain in their leg. And they'd been to the doctors and they'd had all the all the referrals and x-rays and scans and you name it, they had it, and there was nothing wrong with the leg and the knee and the joints here, but it was a pain right at the front. And he said, Piers, I hear you do pain. I said, yeah, one session. He went and said, oh my God, the pain's gone. And a week later, he sent me a little text saying, Piers, I don't know what you've done, but my life has changed. Thank you. If it comes back, I'll be in touch. I went and said, no, you won't, because it won't come back. So it can be this hypnosis, this NLP, all these different meridian energies that I use are amazing, and I teach them all. They're amazing at helping other people. Now, if you haven't done so already, you may have flip back and have a look at some of the previous videos. And I try my best to give you what you're looking for. So if you are looking for anything in particular, just send me a message or comment down below on the link below. Just comment below on what you'd like a video on. Whether you're having trouble yourself, whether you've got something at work, whether you've got something with your children. And I will be doing a video soon of how I help children. You may have noticed I've got little props around the place, like a little dog here, little dog puppet, like that. And how I help children in one-to-one sessions or on Zoom. And these little things here break that moment, break that ice, and help kids just relax. And so when I work with kids and I say, right, well, when I'm going to say this, and your eyes will get heavy and you'll go into a sleep. And I said, so when I do it with you, wakey, wakey, there we go. You all right? Yes, I'm fine. And you do this, but I'll do a video on that. So this little teaser just to show you. But if you haven't already done so, go and have a look at some of the previous videos I've done and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because I put up a new video every week. The notification, if I can say that word rightly, the notification bell, or just ping and it'll go to your email, however it comes into you, just saying there's a new video up. And if you start at the beginning and you go the whole way through, and you've got, each video is about 10 to 15 minutes, so they're not big long lectures or anything like that, but it just gives you a very good grounding, a few basic ways of helping yourself and helping others. My name is Piers Day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.